What is up, everybody? This is Eric, the one and only Erik collector, and today I'm bringing you my November 2020 video game haul. So like always, when I begin these videos, let's go ahead and start off with the digital downloads, and I got a couple for the Switch this month. So without further ado, first one that I got was Corridor Z. This is actually a zombie adventure survival game. Can't remember much about this one. Next one is Jenny LeClue Detective. This is a very funny name. My son actually looked into this one and it really caught our eye. It's actually like a point and click adventure game where you're a Jenny LeClue little detective out to solve a murder mystery or some mysteries, but it looks cool. But then the next one, Super Smash. Now this one really caught my eye. Basically, this game you can combine different genres of games. You can combine like action RPGs. You can do an RPG shooter. You could do a shooter platformer. You name it, you could do it in this game. This is one that I'm gonna delve into real soon. I'm actually working on a game right now that I've been wanting to play for a while. So I'm working on that, and then I'll get onto this one because that one really caught my eye. Then the next one is Awakening of Cthulhu. This one seems to be like an action platformer adventure game, similar. I don't want to say it's a Metroidvania. It kind of looks like it, but I'm not sure if it is or if it isn't. And then you got Weakwood Throne. This one actually is a another platformer adventure game, either that or an RPG. I can't remember, man. It's like I'm very like shot on these games. Diabolic, another one. This one might be a platformer. Now this one, Extermination Force. This one's really fun. Picture playing Contra. With giant mechs as the entire level, like a big giant boss is the entire level. This is what this game is, and you can have like two players at the same time playing simultaneously to take over some bots. This one I actually I'm playing it currently right now with my son. This is a fun game. The next one, Planet Alpha. This is basically you play this either a earthling or someone that gets stranded in a planet and you got to find your way out. Seems like an interesting game. It's like a platformer adventure game. This one, the Bug Butcher. This is a super. God, what's that game? Super Buster Brothers clone. Really fun. I began playing this one too. That one's super fun. Really fun game. And then this next one, Infinite Beyond the Mind. This is actually like a platformer adventure game. I forgot. I just got this one recently, but I know it's a platformer. But it looks really good. And then Cattails. This one my son wanted it, but this is actually a RPG. You play a cat that gets stranded, that not gets stranded, but actually your owner eventually just dumps you in the middle of nowhere. Really sad, and so you start getting into this colony of cats, and you're out there to survive. In this game, you get married, you can have kittens. Really fun game. It's actually really interesting. I really got into it like in the first hour of the game. I was playing it, or maybe like half an hour to an hour. I was testing it out. Fun little RPG. And finally, this one's a point-and-click adventure game called The Great Perhaps. It's a post-apocalyptic adventure. I think it's a point-and-click or a puzzle game. It looks interesting. I like those post-apocalyptic, and it's also time travel related. I like those type of stories. So yeah. So that was my pickups for the Switch downloads. Now on to the physical stuff. I didn't get that many items this month. I was kind of saving my budget because at the end of the month, with all the sales, there's a lot of sales going on. I actually took advantage of a couple of sales right now, especially Target and Best Buy. I'm waiting for Best Buy to see if they're going to have anything on sale for Black Friday and for Cyber Monday. As of the release of this video, it's not quite Thanksgiving weekend yet. It's the week, the week beforehand that I got these. But I needed to pull this video out because by next Tuesday will be the beginning of December. So without any further ado, let me show you guys what I got. First one that I got was a game that I used to own for the PS1, and I'm happy to get it because I got it really cheap at an auction, but it's an expensive game right now. And it's for the PS1, Thunder Force 5. for the PS1. And as you guys know, if you're not familiar, this is a this is a Working Designs game. Although it says Spaz Treasure, Working Designs actually released it out here in the States. I'm just noticing that it doesn't say Working Designs. It doesn't have the logo, it's Spaz. But yeah, it's a Working Designs game. But I picked it up. I used to own it a long time ago, so picked it up. Don't have it with the instructions, but yeah. You know, it is what it is, but I'm trying to collect those Working Design games. Next one I picked up for rather cheap is 40 Winks. Funny thing about this game, and this is for the PS1. Funny thing about this game is that this is an action platformer. I believe they want to release it out for the Nintendo Switch. They want to remake it or something like that. Funny thing about this game was that I thought I owned it at one time, but no, I was confusing it with another game for the PlayStation, and I thought I had it, but like before, and then got rid of it, but no, I never owned it. So cool, you know, I got it. Next one is one that my son got. This is actually my son's, and at first I was like whatever, but it's Luigi Mansion's 3, Luigi's Mansion 3. I can't even speak, for the Switch. Very, very fun game. I really got into it. I'm trying to convince my son, because he likes to be all over the place playing games. I want to play this one. You know, I never played Luigi's Mansion 1 for the GameCube, and I've always wanted to play it. I have the one for the 3DS, something Moon or Dark Moon or whatever. I think it sucks. But part 3, I like this one. This is a fun one. But yeah, hopefully I'll get a chance to play it more often, you know, because my son actually is hogging the game, so it's his, but you know, I've been wanting to play it. Next one I got at my local thrift store, I Spy Spooky Mansion for the Wii. Try to get it for my son. It's a point and click game. Kind of sucks a little bit. I played it. I didn't give it a shot, but when I tested it out, because I also got my son a Wii. I was able to find a Wii for cheap, and he's been wanting one. So I found one at the thrift store for like 20 bucks. You know, and I got this one for him thinking he was going to like it, but he's like, Daddy, no, it's too hard. So yeah, so I'll figure it out. But, you know, I like point and clicks, but we'll see. Next one, now I got this one at the same time at my local thrift store. This is a game that I actually kind of looked into for a while, but then lost touch with it, and I got it, and I'm glad I did, because I got it for really cheap. And it's Indigo Prophecy, and it's outside of the States. It's known as Fahrenheit. This is like a survival horror adventure game for the PlayStation 2. Funny thing that I was looking at this receipt, I guess they purchased it at GameStop back in 2010, and I never knew there was a GameStop locally where I'm at, and I guess it turns out that at one point there was one. So here in the area, so I was like, oh, go figure, you know. But that game is that game was one of those games that I remember seeing and wanting to get. And then when I saw it, I remembered, and I was like, oh God, you know, I got it, and I got it for cheap. Now, these next 3 games, I got them for $5. I got them on eBay really, really cheap. And I'm kind of happy I did, because, you know, some people say they're pretty interesting. They're all PlayStation 1 games. I got Bob the Builder, Can We Fix It? Got it complete. You know, it looks pretty interesting. You know, maybe my kid might like it. Looks interesting from the back, actually. You know, it looks like a puzzle game, so it looks cool. Next one, you know, I like billiard games, and I got billiards for the PlayStation 1. Alongside that other one, the Bob the Builder, came complete with instructions. You know, real simple looking game, but cool. And finally, with the third game that I got with the pile was Caesar's Palace 2, which is, you know, typical gambling game. Unfortunately, I didn't get it with instructions, but I did get the case, and it has the, you know, it has the game, and that's it. But for $5, you can't beat those 3 games. And then finally, this weekend, I went, you know how I was going shopping to go get, you know, more games and stuff to see what was on sale. I ran into 3 games actually that I was looking for. Well, 2 of them, one of them was something that I just picked up, and I was like, whoa, First one I picked up at Target was We Happy Few. Remember seeing this at GameStop somewhere. It's kind of like it looks like an adventure game, but for $5, you know, really good for the Xbox One. Next one I got this. Okay, so there's a funny story with this one. I got Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I hope I'm not butchering the name, but this is basically the story of the Dragon Ball Z series, from what I remember, and it's from the explanation, and it's an RPG. This one I've been looking for, and I remember reading up on it, and I got really interested. Funny story about this one particular game was that I was gonna buy it online, and I saw the digital download, quote unquote, for like $6. I ran to the opportunity to buy it, and I bought it, but then the guy told me that it was like a Xbox One account, that, you know, you can log into the account and play the game and whatnot. And I'm like, but what's gonna happen, you know, but once, if they raise the account, it's done. So I'm like, no. I'm like, dude, no. And I guess this is popular on eBay right now with Xbox One, and maybe, I don't know if PlayStation 4 has that, but I'm cool with that, you know. If it's a digital download, I'm good. But if it's something where they give you this one random account and then you log in, you know, no, I'm good with it. So, but I ended up getting it, and it was on sale for $14 at Target. And then this one I bought at Best Buy for like $9, which is on sale all over the place right now, and it's Kingdom Hearts 3. Big fan of the Kingdom Hearts RPGs. I haven't played part 2, but I played a lot of the Game Boys, and I did beat part 1 on the PlayStation 2. And my son really likes the Kingdom Hearts story and all that, so told my son, you know, when he saw it, he was impressed. He's like, cool, you know, still very young for these games, but, you know, I know he'll enjoy me watching me play it, or once he vamps up his reading skills, he'll be able to play it. He's still too young, but cool to have, you know. And then that's it for video games. Now, this month I did buy a system, but before I get to that, I bought a cartridge, and I bought an Everdrive MD Plus, a generic Everdrive clone cartridge that I bought on Amazon. There were 2 of them, and I actually wanted to buy this since last month. Apparently, you know, I bought one and it kind of sucked. This one's a little bit better, more higher quality. Apparently, you know, I thought you can play this because I own a Sega Genesis at Games console, the one that has 80-1 games, but then you can pop in and play Genesis games, well, most of them. You know, I wanted to buy it for that system, and unfortunately it boots up, but it doesn't play it. So I learned that the hard way when I bought the second cartridge. I had bought one and I thought it didn't work, and I returned it. You know, then I bought this one, gave it a shot, didn't work again. And then there's a file, because this one's cooler because it came with the actual it came with the memory card, and inside the memory card it literally has dozens and dozens and dozens of Genesis, Sega Master System games, 32X games in it, because you can apparently play those games, and Game Gear games, I believe, too. But it didn't work on my Ad Games console again. And then I come to find out that these don't work with the Ad Games console. I thought they did, and I read somewhere online that they did, and then they didn't, but it didn't. So I went on the hunt for a Sega Genesis console, because as you guys know, I've never owned a Genesis console. I owned the Nomad, but I never owned an actual Sega Genesis console. And lo and behold, out of sheer luck, I found one for a decent price, I believe. Rather cheap. I bought the original Sega Genesis 1. I didn't want to get the 2 or the 3. I wanted to get the original one. Got the console. It was kind of a little bit dirty, but I cleaned it up and it looks really nice. Plugged it in, it works. However, you know, the flat screen TVs, for some reason, they don't take that old school cable where you plug in that little screw knob in the back. Those don't work anymore, so I have to get like an AV cable. So I ordered it, but then it hasn't arrived yet. There was an issue with the shipping, so I'm gonna try it out. But I know that I tested this cartridge with it, and it did load, so it worked. So yeah, I got myself a Sega Genesis Really cool. I've always wanted to have my own Genesis console. I never owned it. One of the future things I want to try to do is I want to buy the Sega Master System converter for it eventually, because I own a lot of Sega Master System games. And what made it cool with the purchase was that it came with the original Sega Genesis controller. Came with that, and it came with the fighter stick turbo. Ooh, I knocked my stuff down. Came with the fighter stick controller with the turbo and everything. You know, pretty good condition. I learned that the controller itself cost with the console how much I bought the console for like $30 with all of the items and everything, and the controller itself probably goes for about that from what I researched at the time that I purchased it. So I felt like, you know, I got a really good deal. But anyways, that's pretty much it. What I got. You know, I'm a big fan of the Sega Genesis. I love, as you guys know, I'm gonna be a Nintendo. You know, I do a lot of Nintendo stuff. Try to do as much Genesis stuff as I can. A lot of Master System, but originally I'm a Sega. I'm a Nintendo guy, but I'm a Sega guy at heart. And if you ask me to choose which console, like during the 16-bit console wars that I like, I can't choose. They're both great consoles, and to say that the Genesis is better than the Super Nintendo or vice versa, I'll be incorrect to say that, because each console has their advantages and disadvantages. But you know, there's always something unique. And when it comes to these consoles, the Sega Master, the Nintendo, Sega Genesis, and Super Nintendo, I cannot. You know, as I grew older, I learned to appreciate all these consoles, and I cannot choose which is better, because each one holds a special place in my heart, and they offer so much once you look at it, you know, in their own individual sense. So you know, I can't choose. Anyways, you know, thank you guys for watching. You know, next week I'll be back doing. I have a special little review of a game that I'm gonna do. But anyways, thank you so much, you guys, for watching. Thank you guys for sticking around. This has been Erik the Bear Collector. Peace out.